Welcome back to the grind. In this video, we're going to talk about what champions you should use for the Skill Cavalier event quest, where the champions will evade more than half of the time unless you have an evade counter. And if you have specific ways of reducing evade, then you can actually gain a lot of furies for increased damage. Now, we're going to talk about these buffs quickly and then get into the champion uses. The lane specific node is Flux Dispersal, so I do have to intermittently use heavy attacks to allow myself to continue dealing damage. But the global ones are Can't Touch This. So at baseline, the defender will evade more than 50% or 50% of the hits in addition to whatever their base evade ability is. Each time you prevent an evade from triggering in a means other than ability accuracy reduction, you'll get a fury that will increase your damage. And also, skill attackers that apply Disorient, Incinerate, and Shock effects will prevent the evade from occurring. So it's another way that you can evade or prevent evades. Now, Falcon is a great option because in his base kit, when he locks on, the champions will not evade. So you can completely shut down evade. The thing is, this is ability accuracy reduction, so you will not gain the added furies for increased damage, but you will still get the increased cruelty buffs that Falcon gets from his base abilities. You just have to not attack while lock on is not active, because otherwise they have a chance to evade. Unfortunately, the shock from Hulkbuster is still applying intermittently, so we are taking damage from there. So let's quickly review the various champions that are useful. Elsa, Bloodstone, and Massacre are good because they can apply those debuffs like ways to prevent them from evading in their kit. And then Nick Fury also prevents evades. Falcon is a good one. Black Widow, Deadly Origin is also nice because she has access to shock, so with that node, she'll prevent evade as well. But you can also use other champions which will demonstrate, like Ghost, Quake, or any champion if you just play around the evade. Now, Falcon's special 3 does apply an Incinerate, so if I was to attack in, I was trying to bait out a special for too long here, but if I did attack in and I do one time here, I get a Fury Charge because we use the Incinerate to prevent the evade from occurring. Now, Night Thrasher is also a very effective champion for this node because his medium attacks cannot be evaded, so that will give you the Fury stacks. Also, with his special 1, he applies an Incinerate debuff, so you can spend the majority of the fight preventing them from evading simply by cycling your special 1 for that Incinerate debuff. So those of you who like Night Thrasher or have him somewhat leveled up, this will be a very good option because you can scale up those furies very quickly. So it's nice to see because Night Thrasher is a decent champion, but doesn't have the best utility in this. He will be very effective. Now, Killmonger is another one that actually works well because you get True Strike if you counter after the opponent throws a special attack. So True Strike is not ability accuracy reduction, therefore you can stack up those furies very quickly and increase your damage very fast. And Killmonger is already a pretty good damage dealing champion, especially Awakened, so people who have him will get a lot of good benefit from this. Now, Elsa Bloodstone is also a very good one for this because her second medium attack, which you can throw while the opponent is stunned, is a Cold Snap effect off of that, and therefore the opponent will not be able to evade because of the Cold Snap, and you'll be able to gain those Fury stacks very fast as well. So Elsa is a great option for this if you do have her leveled up. Now, of course, Nick Fury. Nick Fury is an amazing evade counter as well and a very strong damage dealing champion in addition to that. If you have more than 5 tactical charges, the opponent will not evade, and this is not counted as ability accuracy reduction, so you can stack the Furies based on that like you just saw there. Also, with the special 1, he applies Disorient, and that Disorient works with the nodes in this Cavalier event quest, and so you'll cancel evades with the Disorient as well, even if you are not above 5 tactical charges. And once you have a passive Fury, your tactical charges will not decay, so you can very easily stay up in the range where you will prevent evades, and it should be very easy. Now, other champions that you can use include Ghost. Every time you have that passive precision charge when you phase, the next attack cannot be evaded. So you'll see this whole fight, every time we go in with that precision, the opponent will not evade. Now, if you make a mistake and throw an extra attack or attack with your heavy before the stun ends, then they will evade. But if you do the heavy attack right away, you can land both hits during the stun. And I'm not even using the Wasp synergy here, and it's still very effective. I'm able to land multiple special 2s without the Wasp synergy. It just takes a little more practice, and so I did not have to waste a slot on the team for that synergy piece because Wasp wouldn't be the most useful in this map. But you can see how easy it was with Ghost. Another option option is Quake. If you're an effective Quake player, I'm an okay Quake player, but not super reliable. But Quake is very good because you don't have to attack, and therefore they cannot evade. And so if you do have Quake and you're struggling with some of the paths, Quake might be your answer. And lastly, if you don't have enough counters, you can just play with any champion and avoid hitting them when they're not stunned. Now with Doom, it's nice because you can do a medium attack, 2 lights, which all occur during the stun, and then the last one you can use a heavy attack because the passive stun applies if you have a shock on the opponent. That's a very good way of using a champion that doesn't actually counter the evade. You do have to play a little bit differently. For example, like with Doom, you can't really do the full Doom cycle, but you can still build to a special 3. You can still throw off special 2s as long as you stun the opponent before you throw off your special attack and the first hit lands during the stun, then the rest of the hits will not be evaded either. So this can be an effective way to take care of some fights, but it does go a lot slower because you can only hit them during the stuns from your parry or from your special attacks if you have a stun off of your special attack. You also don't get the extra fury bonus because you're not using the right class of champion to benefit from the node, so that is another factor that results in the fights taking a lot longer. But if you don't have the options that will make this map easier, then you have to resort to other options and just play around it. So I do hope this video was helpful. I'm planning to make more of these for each of the classes, so if you're interested in that, keep an eye on the channel, and I hope to see you in the next video.